Okay, so I've got the camera facing me. I'm in a lobby of a hotel. I've got it back on. Just wait for a second. Yeah. Okay, so I'm working my way around live technology, live streaming technology at the moment for this channel, this TV channel. And I've stated before that in doing this, I'm going to be covering policing, not a police officer, not that police station or that building, just policing in general. It could take me to the Home Office, it could equally take me to a courthouse, it could also take me to a particular station, as it did for the first video. So that was a good start, wasn't it? I actually made it to a station. The point is that policing happens everywhere. Your neighbour might apply to join the police. They might already be a police officer. The activity, the subject, the method is policing, isn't it? So that's what I want to look over. And I'm trying to be observant. I live as a full part of this society. I'm a citizen of the UK. I'm not enmeshed. I'm not a member of this house or that law chamber, but I am active working as a part of this country. So I am able to pick up on information. I'm also able to speak out about a situation, and that interchange, that interaction allows me to make sense of some things as we go along. Today I can make sense of an issue. I could try to make sense of a problem. I'm not obviously a problem solver for the police. I'm not trying to write in new solutions to their method, whatever it may be called, but I'm going to speak up as well in ways that I need to as a journalist, as somebody who's walking around the same places as you may be, has heard of some of the same issues that trickle down as being controversies or problems that we think we see in society. That's the point of being open, of being verbal, of being direct. The point is to try to crack open the issue so that we're not angry, so that we're not hot-headed, so that our blood isn't boiling over, and we're becoming the same animal as a few, some people that we see that are just out there causing too much trouble. I've remained, even though I've worked for some years in journalism, as a journalist, I've remained able to continue to interact with people, to think about things rationally, and to progress in my work. So I have been restraining my emotions. I've been keeping my thinking clear. I've been trying to fit things into the relevant boxes, and that means it's okay. I'm not in contact with the radical underground who want to use information. I'm not in contact with a turncoat in a courtroom who wants to cause trouble. I'm not working alongside somebody I don't really know who might be trying to disrupt the legal career of somebody who has actually got a position or responsibility here. All of that aside, it's still something that I've got to do and manage properly. So that's what I'm trying to do. Keeping things focused on the issue of policing. It may be a bit of an ideology. I'm acutely aware of the both naivety and seriousness with which people apply to join the police. I know that they are citizens acting on the impulse of a duty, but with a sincere interest in what they're doing. They also get thrown into numberless situations, all involving people, of course. They're not manipulators, they're not agitators in that sense, they're not tightening and loosening things around the place. It's always about other people, but they get thrown into numberless situations in which they have to make close calls, they've got to give advice sometimes, they have to show people the right way to do things. In some police forces, they have a more flexible approach in which they train each other. I visited a police station briefly where a lot of the officers had been involved in training each other. So they had effectively trained one another. That built their team spirit. It also helped them to smooth out some of the edges in terms of their activity in that local area, and they had been awarded funding and also being given recognition for doing that. Apparently that was a good initiative. That isn't the case in every force. There are some forces that have a very strong streak, if you like, of training regimes that are well regarded even internationally, and they choose to continue down that path. They choose to continue to have people that will train their officers from start to completion, and they believe that gets the job done where they are. In looking at it, I don't become a police officer. I actually don't become that much more intelligent. I still have to pick up my understanding from elsewhere, but I get to fit it in place. I get to understand some of the moves that they make, and I get to understand some of the twists and turns in a case because I pick it up from the relevant sources, the true sources, the sources of credibility, and then it's a job of applying it to reality, what we can see every day. That's how somebody who wants to show an interest in policing should do it. Equip yourself to stand apart, but also become a part of what's going on. It is easy to become, I guess, whipped up or provoked by some of the things that there are to see. But why not pull away from that, the special operation, the public event that is going to cause trouble because it's inevitably written into the planning? Why not step away from that and just look at the policing that exists where you live or where other people live who are like you? That's real policing. That's the proper day job. That's the 9 to 5 job that they stick to and that they want to get good at and they want to improve on. That's worth looking at, not just as a regulator, but as people who are paying for it and sometimes ask for our opinion on it. The police forces are encouraged to get the opinion of local people, taxpayers, citizens, even those who go to a college over 16. Police forces are encouraged to try to gauge an opinion, if not directly, then through conversation in uniform, about how it's going, what they think. It's not necessarily to get tip-offs, but sometimes the way that we say it can be the tip-off they need to change their approach in the neighbourhood, let's say, or on the school grounds or in the hospital. It can help them to adapt their angle or the way that they're trying to handle a situation to actually see it through. That's how we can be helpful. There may be many examples you found of ways that people are unhelpful. It can be subjective whether they are or not, but a way to be helpful is to respond to the question that people ask. It's what I've done. I know of other people that have done it. A few of them actually went to work in journalism, having had a good experience of interacting with police staff, police officers and stuff. Those that even try to plan station activities. They have a good experience of speaking to those people, and that sets them up for their work in future because they will see a lot more information. They will meet other people, good examples, but likewise bad examples. But at least as an individual, they are hitting the ground running on the middle ground. They're neither for, raving in favour of policing, or against, trying to get it defunded. They're somebody that has to analyse. And they're able to do that because they have engaged with it prior and they have a good attitude to start with. That's important with policing because they also have agitators that work day and night to try to ruin the reputation, to try and throw them off the scent, to try to dampen the mood, if you like, in what they're doing. And you or I, being near to it, we might be agitated against too. But it doesn't have to work. And if we stick at it, then we too can contribute somehow in some way to what is going on here. The stuff that breaks out because there's an issue, or the stuff that comes in because there's a problem, or the stuff that's going down because it's just normal life.